This is the PrairieLearn Homeworks course instance, how to create a course instance and homeworks. My name is Ben. So this is the high-level overview of the entire course, all of our documentation. We are on number 12, creating course instance and homeworks.
The overview for this presentation, I'm going to teach you how to create a course instance, how to create a homework, how to create questions, and set them into that corresponding homework. But first, we're going to talk a little bit more about the directory structure of PrairieLearn. So right here, we have the PrairieLearn framework on the outside, and that's going to be the course, I guess, whatever course you're working in. Inside of that course, you're going to have multiple course instances, but I'm just going to show you the framework of one, but you can see here there's multiple. Inside of that course instance, you're going to have a info course instance.json, which is going to have the properties of that course instance of when it starts, when it ends, and different properties of it. Also inside of the course instance, you're going to have multiple different homeworks and questions. We'll get into that in a second. Inside of that homework, you're going to have a info assessment.json, which is going to have the same properties like when it opens, when it closes, which questions are inside of it, and how much points they're worth. And then here are all the questions. Inside of those questions, you're going to have an info.json, which is going to be kind of the same properties as the other ones. And then you're going to have your question.html, which is going to be what appears on the screen for the user to interact with. And then you're going to have the server.py, which is kind of the backend computation part of the question. So then down here, you have some unassigned questions. These are the same as the regular questions, except for they just haven't been set in the homework yet. So whenever you create a question, but you haven't done what I'm going to show you later in this video, they'll just kind of be floating in the course instance like this. So here's the terminal directory structure of the PrairieLearn course. So you can see here under course instances, you can have different, it'll show your different course instances like fall 2022, spring 2023. We're going to go into how to create the spring 2023. And then if you change your directory to that, you can see here is your info course instance.json, and then it'll have a folder with all of your assessments. And if you change your directory into the assessments, you can see there's a homework one, which we will go into creating. And then if you go into your homework one, you can see the assessments.json. And then if there was any questions, it would be displayed here at the same level. And if you go into those questions, it would show your question.json and your server.py and other files like that.
So first we're going to create a course instance. You're going to make sure you're on the base level of PrairieLearn. You're going to make sure that you're in development mode. So that's, you can see here that there is, you're on localhost, and you're going to be in dev user. And then you're going to select whatever course you're wanting to create another course instance for. So for this one, I'm going to be using CPRE 288 embedded systems. Inside of this, you're going to make sure you're on the course instances tab. You can see here that there's a fall 2022 course instance already. It's already there from when we were working on it. But you're going to want to click add course instance. That'll create the course instance. So then you're going to be sent to this page where it just says course instance new _1. And then your long name is just going to be new. So there you have your long name, your course instance ID, which is going to make the course instance identifiable, and then this course instance.json, which is where you're going to be changing all of the different identifications for this course instance. So for this example, we're going to name the course instance spring 2023. We're going to use a CI ID of S 2023. So you can see down here, down here we changed the long name to spring 2023. And then when you're done with that, you can click this save and sync. And then for the CI ID, I ended up naming it spring 2023. You just click this little button here, and then a window will pop up, and you'll just name it spring 2023. So then when you click on course instances again, you can see that you have spring 2023 as a course instance.
So after you create your course instance, if you go into your terminal here, you can see under course instances, you should have one now that says Spring 2023 or whatever you decided to name it. And then if you change your directory inside of it, there should be a assessments folder and a course or info course instance.json.
So now we're going to be able to create a homework starting from the same place that we left off. You have Spring 2023 here, and we're going to be setting the homework within that course instance. So if you click on Spring 2023, you can see that you clicked it up here on the top. It'll say Spring 2023, and then you go to the Assessments tab. You're going to see that there is no assessments there. So then you're going to click the button that says Add Assessment. This is the default assessment settings. The title is new. It's a type of homework. The set, it's in a homework set. There's only one of them. It's a default module. Your assessment ID is just new_1. And then you have an info assessment JSON where you're going to be able to change a lot of these identifiers. So in this assessment.json, I left the UUID the same. I think I left the type the same. I changed the title to be homework 1. And then I clicked save and sync when I was finished doing that. You can see here the title changed to homework 1. For the assessment ID, I just changed the assessment ID to be homework_1, so that way we could identify it correctly. And then when you go back to the same assessments tab, and you go back to the same assessments tab here and make sure you're under Spring 2023, or whatever you named your course instance, you will see the homework 1 has appeared there, the same name, the same assessment ID.
So once again, if you open up your terminal and then you go into the assessments folder and you look at everything in there, you can see there's a homework_1 now. And then if you change your directory into the homework 1, you can see the info assessment.json inside of there. And then also inside of this homework would be any of the questions inside of that folder.
So now we're going to go into adding questions into that homework. So you're going to make sure you're on your course instance, Spring 2023. You're going to click on questions, and then you're going to go to the questions tab. I'm not going to get too much into this as you will be creating questions in later videos. But we have this question called char count, and all you really need to know is that the title is called character count and the question ID is called char count. So inside of this, you have your assessment where you have homework 1. So you're going to click on that. You see that there's no questions inside of it. And then, yep, there's no questions inside of it. So then if you click on the Files tab for that homework, you see this info assessment.json. So then you'll click on that. Then this will open up kind of where it's exactly where you changed your title. And you're going to be changing the allow access field and the zones field. So inside of the allow access field, this is where you're setting the opening and closing times for the homework. You're going to be setting, for this example, I set mine to April 3rd at midnight. That is today's date. And I set the end date to be April 7th at 11:59. So that way for the students, they would have had at exactly a week to finish it. I'm not showing you this because I needed to. I just showed you this so that way you guys would know how to set the start and end date of a homework. So then inside of the zones, this is where we're going to be titling the homework. So the title of the homework is homework 1. So then at the very start, you could put the title of the homework as homework 1. That's what I did. After that, you have the questions array where you're going to be storing all of the different questions for that homework. So what you're going to do inside of that, you're just going to find the ID of the question that you want to add, which for our instance would be char count. And then after that, you're going to put the amount of points that you think that question is worth. So char count is a more difficult question, so we're going to give it 10 points. And then when you go back to questions, you get to see inside of homework 1, you have this question called character count with the ID of char count, and it is worth 10 points. That's all for this video. For the next video, you'll be learning about creating basic questions.